Coming around to the point where things aren't looking up anymore. What happened to my camera? It's too high, it's too low. Okay, very, very, very short. Very, very short. What I was doing is I was building the world of 81. Okay, I'm not going to tell you, and it starts off where this whole thing over here equals 5. This is the main house. It equals 5. And then after that, it grows differently. Each row is a certain numbers, okay? Now, it's pyramid style, right? But it's new pyramid style, okay? It's the pyramid style of the guide stones. And I'm going to show you one of the reasons why, okay? One of the reasons why is we go, let's say we go 11 across. So let's say we talk about the 3 worlds, okay? So we would go 13 across, and we would go 12 down. And we'd still have the 13 across on the top. We'd still have the 12 down. We have to remove this entire row at the bottom. Because this row at the bottom, which is equal to the row at the top, it's a complete row, okay, is the earth, okay? So we take away this, and we call this the earth, and we don't count them as any numbers. So we'd actually be counting from here to here, instead of it being 12 that it should be, okay, it's only going to be counted down to 10. It'll be 12 this way and 10 this way. Well, actually, it's going to be an odd number, so it'll be 13 by 11 and 13 by 11, or it'll be 911, okay? This shows, okay, that it's right onto ground zero. This proves that this code is for ground zero. The guide stones are a proof. It means ground zero. Whatever that means, wherever they say it, ground zero is just not good. It's just not a good thing. Area 51, ground zero, things like that. Anyway, something I had on my mind. I'm twisting and turning, and I want to show you something. When you draw this angle, okay, on an angle, because it is the Christ, right? But in the other world, in God's world, because God is 1 and 2, in the one world instead of the 2, sits like this. So what happens is from this point to this point, 0.25 add on. Okay, the one line of 0.25 more, okay, equals 1.25. You have one over here, which is the center line. It must be divided by 2, the center line, because you have one side of the center line with here and the other side on the bottom. This is for the top part, this is for the bottom. So we split it in 2, equals to 0.625. And like I told you in many times before, 41 times that number, which is omega, which is beta omega, it's like green eggs and ham, okay, equals to 25,625. And at the same time, you would have to look on the Monopoly board, okay, for the 15th position, which is Pennsylvania, and then 26 more from there, you end up on the Mediterranean. Pennsylvania stands for the Liberty Bell of freedom, and the Mediterranean is where I think the Holy Ghost lies, the skulls. Something in that Mediterranean, my friends. This world is not all about money. You know what I'm saying? There's more to it. There's only so much you need. There's more to it than just money, and there's more to it than just us. There's something else out there. Doesn't it make sense? Is it all about money? What do you want to do? Yeah, bring my money in, dump it in the back. Bring my money in, dump it in the... Like, what the... I have 20 bucks on me. I'm going to get something to eat and something for the cats, and I'd like to have more money so I can spend more time on YouTube, but I just don't. So anyways, at the same time, what happens with this is there are 4 suits, just like there is one direction this way, one direction this, one direction this way, one direction this way, one up, one down. There's 4 of them. So 4 times this equals a total of 5, which would be the angle in the center, 5. Now we're missing the one line of God, the Christ. You add the one line to Christ, you get from 5, from this, 4 times this is 5. You get the one angle of Christ, you put the 1 over here, is 6. And then when you go east-west, east-west has 2 dots, the 4 and the 6 dot. Okay? Nobody else has that. So instead of taking the complete amount, you, instead of going the same multiplication, you do the multiplication 5 times 5. Only calculate the space. Man didn't make the spirit. Only calculate the space. 5, 4 to 6, and 6 to 4 is 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 4 is 24, and the one difference is the spirit in the 24 hours a day. 24 and 25 add up to 49, which is the letter value count to the English alphabet of the word 8. And the 4 by 9, 36 creation of man. And the 4 by 9, 36, and 9 and 4, 13, repeating 49 again. Anyone out for a 649 or a Super 7 or a Powerball? Well, let me know, because all those Powerballs are all in numbers. They come in numbers. So anyways, what you get at the end is the line for God. We were at 5, plus the line is now 6, plus 5 times 5 is 25, is 6.25 again. Or if we want to use it for the number of days in a year, multiply this by 4 for the 4 suits for the 4 directions on the angles of 1, 9, 3, and 7, 4 and 6, 2 and 8. Okay, 5 times 5. Okay, and then you have yourself 125. You multiply that by 4. It equals to 5. Then what you do is you go 5 by 5 equals 0.25. And then it equals 5.25. And we can keep on doing this right till we get up to 3.1415. Because the thing with pi I think we should be doing with pi is 3.1415. And now go to the other side and put a point on the other side of the 3 now. And then mark the same numbers the other way. And now we'll do pi, and we'll run its numbers into each other from the negative and positive side, and we'll see exactly what we're missing. We'll never know why, because it's constantly moving. Maybe a little bit faster than what we can calculate or even sense or understand, because there's too much space, not enough space, or it's in my space, there's too much space, and I have too much junk taking up too much space. And whatever's in that space, you need a distance to get there. And then when you make another closet and another door, the door has to open and there's another space. So where are we with these numbers? Did you understand any of this? Maybe. I'm working on now decimals and quarters, in between numbers. And the basic number you always have to remember is in between numbers that actually do not exist. 7, 8, and 9. Only for this world they exist. 7, 8, and 9. At least that's the way I think it. It could be 1, 2, 3. Maybe it's 1, 2, 3 doesn't exist, because everything begins to exist at 4, because you got the 4 corners. So maybe 1, 2, and 3 are just one person, and then the rest of everything is 4 to 9 and the one God. So then what you have to do, and that's why would I say that? Because if you take a dice cube and change all the numbers around and start from 9, 9 would go up to 4 is 13, 7 would go up to 6 is 13, we have 26. That makes this world. That shows that 9 is for this world. But let's continue on to 9, because listen to this, we already chopped off 10, 11, and 12 in roulette. We may as well chop off roulette 1, 2, and 3 and work in the in-between numbers, just to make the game a little bit different. We'll have 9, 9, 9, 27 numbers, with 9 numbers chopped off, 1 at the top, 1 in the middle, 1 at the bottom. So what we have is 9, the month of September, 8, octagon for October, and 7, scepter for the scepter of the king for September. September, October, September, October. I'm stuck on September, October, and that's what they do in the Jewish religion. It's September, October. Anyways, so what we get to in that is the numbers go back to like this. Okay, 5 and 8 is 13, 9 and 4 is 13, 7 and 6 is 13, 1 and 6 is 7, 3 and 4 is 7, 2 and 5 and 7, and that's only the reverse of the other of what I just spoke about. So, what am I going to do next? I have to puzzle my mind a little bit, finish off this cigarette, and give you the totals. The total of 13, 13, and 13 is 39. The three creation, 3 by 3, and that's how it all began, right? Three-story chicken house, Zadie. Right, Zadie? I know. So it began all by 3 by 3. So now we have 10. If you add A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, it equals 10. But in all actuality, you don't need 2, because 1 is as good as 2, right? Because God is the 1 and the 2. So now what you have is 1 and 3 is 4, and 4 is 8 to heaven. But 3 creation, God created that. That's okay. So all you have is 1 and 4 is 5. But you got to keep creation around, which is 6, which makes it 11. And since 11 is a secondary number level for K for king, and it is not a God, and it's the 11th letter, 1 and 1 is 2. God is first, and we're next. And that's the way it goes. Where else would you like to go in the cards? Should we add that the 11th card, as we see, is actually can be a jack in cards, as the 11th card K is actually the king. So now we have 1, 1 is 2, and the king is the 13th card, 1 and 3 is 4. So now we have 1, 2, and 4. 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7. We got one world of 7. That's it. Let's pack up that mug and David and head out that rocket ship. We've packed up this world in numbers. I know it. I feel it. I sense it. I vibrate within them. Sometimes I don't write it properly. Sometimes I don't see it properly. Sometimes I bamboozle my notes. But all in all, when it comes to the grinding of the numbers, I know it. I know I need to know it. I need a test. I need a test somehow. I need some sort of a test. Because right now, I hate my notes. I hate when it's upside down. I hate that I can't understand it. So I'm teaching myself how to use more paper by explaining it to myself in my notes instead of just trying to remember. And every time I look at it, oh yeah, I did that in a video. But what the hell it means, I have no idea. Because when I look back at a number, it can mean so many things. I don't know which direction to start in. And that's why just looking at one number, the easiest basis of the number in the 777 world is to bring everything to 7 and to know how to bring everything to 7. It doesn't mean that 7 has to get 0, because 7 can get the 0. But in certain situations, what you actually do with the 7 and why you give it the 0, because the 0 is harmonious and centered to everything. It is the point, it is the dot of all creation of time, because we all know God is the Alpha Omega, and inside the egg is always something or nothing. He's not definitely the 0, he is the 0 as the passage, but as the Omega, okay, the Omega is like that. And we're creation. We're just that. We are in there, and all them spermatozoids come along and build you up. They make you into a heart, and they sew on, and they belt you into some hips, and they look at you, and they think what your mother was doing in the past. They said your mother was nice, we'll make her look like this, and the spermatozoids go back to work. Your destiny is based on what your mother and your father has done in the past, and your grandparents, and so on and so forth. Did I tell you the short story? One day we're going to our own star. How about if God took all the water out of this world and then gave a quick blow of the wind, and let the rest of the elements mix together and see what happens to the Big Bang at that point? When God wants to create, he puts in his element and then he removes it, because it grows to a point to where it starts to boil, the boiling point, the point before the bomb goes. Anyways, whatever it is, that's enough for this cassette. Raphael 7286, still trying to get it in order at 8.5. And why is that? Because man lives on the corner between 6, 5, 9, and 8. Hold on a second. Let me see this. Let me see if it comes out. 6, 9, 5, and 8. This is man's cell block right over here. A, B, C, D. We don't need actually beta in the world, okay, the secondary world. When man is 2, he's 2 over here. Because in this world, He was 1 plus the 1 over here, the help from the heavens. When he leaves the world, he can't go over here. And he is a beta person. He is the beta soul. He can't go here because he's no longer part of this world. He goes here. 1, 4, 7, the one spirit of the 4 delta God of the 7th gate. This is where man goes. This is gone. A, C, D, C. And you got the corner shape over here. 8, 8, 8, 8. 4 worlds together. 8, 8, 1 corner. 8, 8, 2 corners. 88 and 88. 176 times 10. 100, 1,760. What are we missing? We are missing the one spirit of the gates of God. What is that one spirit? It is man 6 hooking up to the spirit, having that center core. 1776. Once that core is hooked up, it automatically becomes 1777. And at the same time that it is hooked up, it becomes 1775. And the reason for these numbers is because 1760 plus 15 equals omega, plus 16 equals the one spirit of the 6 islands, plus the 17. I'm sorry, we start at 15, we go to 17, and in between, when the islands of beta are connected, 6 and alpha 7, we have 1776. And for those of you who don't completely understand, if you take the cards or the alphabet and single digit, put everything to a single digit, you will have 6 even and 7 odd. And that makes up your 13, in which you already know the one God beta doesn't exist without the one God alpha. So therefore, when this world ends, 13 automatically becomes 12. 2 worlds, God's and yours. Although you are D, you are still in your own square. Take a look at this. Look at this crazy stuff. Look at this. Look what my cat just did. What in the world is my cat doing up there? That is in. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why did you go there? What are you doing? Are you insane? Are you insane? What's going on with you? What's going on? And do you see the way they just stretch it out? They can stretch it out because their actual connection with their backbone is in 2 parts, okay? I can't really explain it because I'm not a doctor, but I know what I'm talking about inside the thoughts that I'm not telling you because I know I might make a mistake and somebody might harass me for it. And even if you harass me for a mistake, because I'm not going to be exact, what's the use in speaking? But unless we're all speaking together in a hypothesis, then I should actually express what I need to say. And since this is all about Mrtacpans and everything he thinks, what's the difference what you say as long as you're respectful to everybody else? Is that not all correct? Okay. Raphael, on the constellation of Pegasus, based on the egg, 5775, this coming new year stands for 5773. This year is the year where the 3 sevens connect. 7 and 3. 21. The Mayan calendar, 2012. The reason it never gets to 21 is because it's 20.5. The 20 goes to the right, the 21 goes to the left, and they meet in the center, they join. How do they join? When you create certain images and stars, when a line crosses over a line without having an intersection, automatically there's an extra line, and therefore anything that passes on it will have a difference on an angle. Meaning that if I'm like this, right, and my arm is on the floor over here, the closer I bring my arm up to the bar here, the more my angle is going to change and then break into the next box. Like I said, Everybody's got their own world. You know what I'm saying? 9, 9, 9, 9. Wherever you want to go, everybody's got 9. You know why? Because inside your own world, you can create what the hell you want. Raphael, 7286, in the constellation of Pegasus. Thank you.